it so happened that as I was planning to ease out of my corporate career, I had an experience with big burnout and PTSD. One of my biggest goals in my corporate career was to get on the existing mentorship program. It was a global mentor program within the organization. And I was very keen to mentor others. But also the fun thing about that was at any given point of time, we were also individually being mentored. All of that mentoring was rooted very much in coaching for development. What I started to realize was this is something I wanted to do. And I actually wondered, is this a real job? Could this really be a whole thing? The Coaching Academy came recommended to me by a friend, and it so happened that as I was planning to ease out of my corporate career, I had an experience with big burnout and PTSD. So I had to put my plans on hold for about 18 months. And when I came out the other side, I laugh now, but it was a day I had created a simple to-do list, and there was only one action on it. It said, take a class, take any class. And I thought, God, this is the moment I need to go back to this goal that I've got. And so I Googled, Coaching Academy came up. I said, this is a sign. Well, it more than lived up to my expectations, for the first reason being that because I had just come out of big burnout and big trauma, I had found myself in a place where I had to learn how to learn again. There was parts of my brain that were literally still coming online. I was learning to still string full sentences together. So one of my primary requirements was, can I undertake this qualification at my pace? The online learning platform in itself was quite self-explanatory. I found all of the resources extremely helpful. The first thing I received was an email that said, here's how you log on. And there was a launch video. And that video was just brilliant. And I remember taking a couple of hours one day and just working my way through what's on the platform and what's the material like. The other thing that I have found super useful throughout my journey and even now is the Facebook group, the closed group for students. It is an immensely amazing resource for students as you come on board, because there are people who've qualified before, there are people who are with you in that journey, and then, as we go through. And what I found was that anytime I had a question or a challenge with a client or didn't understand something, if I simply searched in that group, it's a huge repository of information. But it was also helpful to learn from my peers in terms of what was going on. I think the main quality I would say is a we attitude. Coaching isn't about, I'm going to be highly skilled at this thing and I'm going to give advice from this position of power and tell people what to do. I would say the main quality is to be in that place of, this is a partnership of equals. This is a partnership, this is an adult to adult equation. The way I have designed it is I don't work more than 3 days a week. I do not work Mondays. That is one of my other life goals that I have hit. And I do not work Mondays with the primary purpose of reinvesting that time in myself. I take myself out on a date or I do nothing. I've embraced the arts of being lazy with the idea that all of that puts back the energy in me that I can then bring to coaching. So I coach between 2 or 3 days a week, and I'll maybe put in an extra day on a Friday to do networking conversations with other coaches or someone who's thinking about getting the coaching qualification and wants to have a chat, that kind of thing. But it's really helped me rethink and redesign what life could be like. I have developed my niche to be part of a reflection of my own journey. So I help burned out overachievers and some of them who are coming through that post-PTSD journey to design an intentional life. Because once they're on the other side, the main question is, where do I go from here? all of my clients, and I remember this from myself, no one is short of doing anything. They are all very good at achieving results. The challenge is in managing what's happening in that inner world. When people have had a burnout experience due to work or any other life experience, it is a wake-up call, but in a life-affirming way, if one chooses to see it that way. And so for many of my clients, the main obstacle as such that they come to coaching with is, how do I come home to myself? How do I step back into self-worth? Because for a long time they have been achieving from outside success markers. And so now they're going, oh, am I in a place where my doing is coming from me seeing myself? But it's not about a bouncing back. The work that I do is a bouncing forward. Most people are finding themselves in a completely new world. And it's scary at first, but that's where our coaching works well, that they can find that place of safety and comfort inside of themselves.